right in the back. Hey,
As we roll into a conversation, I was going like this.
On the couch. Hey, Michael, how you doing?
Fantastic.
Always the best answer. Hey, everybody, how you doing out there? Welcome to the Social Butterfly, where we go live each week unpacking everything to do with business, whether it's startup. We haven't actually spoken about start down, have we? We haven't gone into that space yet, but whether it's startup, growing, expansion, teams, money, for finance, all the things, right? Everything that goes into growing a business. Michael and I have a bit of a chat around it each week. Michael is my business coach from Venture Cultivation Coaching, and he is putting in an extra 5 to 50K into your bottom line. Is that right, Michael?
50 to 500K.
I knew there was some zeros missing, right?
Yeah, there's definitely some zeros missing there.
So it's 50 to 500K into your bottom line. Just making sure that we're all there. It's telling me that we're not. And I am here bringing you 8 clients in 90 days. So we sort of run at a few goals and run at a few challenges when we do work together, don't we? So let's see
Absolutely.
if we can't. What we've also found in that time, Michael, you will have seen it, I have seen it, is doing too much, spreading yourself too thin, and not always hitting the mark. So today we're going to look at what it's like to have one avatar or one target, one problem and one solution, and what that looks like for your business on a whole. So should we dive in, Michael? What do you think about that? What do you think about?
Yeah, absolutely. I want to kick it off with 2 statements that I hear frequently that make me cringe, make me frustrated, make me want to like kind of shake people. I obviously don't shake people, but make me want to shake them and say, this, in my experience, is about the worst thing that you can do. And the first one is have the concept of everybody is my client.
Oh, yep. You hearing that?
All the time. Like, so I will ask someone, I'm like, okay, so who is, like, if I could put one person in front of you, who would that person be? And they go, oh, well, really, I can help everybody.
Yeah. Okay. That's a fairly standard statement. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. And I'll back in why that is not great, right? And why it frustrates me is that what happens is when you're trying to talk to everybody, you talk to nobody. And that seems like, oh yeah, that's a blasé statement. But what the challenge is that there are key things as people that we identify with. So if someone says something about a business consultant or business coach, my ears perk up and I look and I go, hey, what is this person talking about? Because I identify in that space. No different to someone starts talking about marketing or social media marketing or getting someone clients, you watch Katrina go, what's going on here? Right? We're like little meerkats and we get up here and we're like, what's going on here? Kind of thing, right? When you just are like, oh yeah, I help everyone do this thing, everyone has just zoned it out because it is white noise and it doesn't matter and no one identifies with it and they don't care. Because everyone is focused on themselves. So if you can't talk to them in their language where they are in a specific way that is going to activate their attention to go, ooh, this is for me, you're not going to get anyone as a client. So that is why that frustrates me.
Yep. Fair enough.
Got anything on that before I roll into the second one?
So much to say about that. But I'll let you continue your train of thought.
No, if you want to hop in, my train of thought's not going anywhere. These are frustrations every day that I have. So
it's an interesting frustration because as a small business owner that was everything to everyone, and all of those that like that initial journey when you first start, you feel like, I'll never forget it. You feel like you're going to discount half of the market if you say that you only work with a certain one when you're starting off, right? It's the weirdest feeling. You're like, I can't say that I only work with coaches because what about everyone else that I could possibly work with? And now I've limited myself to making money, right? That's what you think. And it's like, you know, it's so hard.
I want to give people a solution in that instance is because we're going to talk about one person, we're going to talk about this a little bit more in a second. Actually, let's talk about in the one, like when we talk about in the segment, and I'll give people the solution for it there. Because there is such a thing
Let's
that
do
I
that.
have seen, which is niching down too hard, and you get into a really obscure place. And one example, I met someone who I was talking through, and I met them on LinkedIn. I was having a good chat with them, and their target was 11 businesses in the entire world.
Yeah, right. Oof. Yep.
And I went and did some research, and I could not find any other businesses outside of those 11. And I was like, I don't see any way that you're going to get into these businesses, and it is so small and so niche and such concentrated risk that is too much.
That's incredible. You've gone from wide to so narrow.
Yeah.
I suppose that's
So
kind of like, it reminds me of Ferrari and the saying how Ferrari don't advertise on TV because their audiences aren't there. So
yeah.
it's kind of that, right? So could you niche into 11 businesses if you were providing a service that?
Well, the particular person did not have the skill set that they would need to be the only person that could possibly solve the problem for me. So no,
Yeah.
not in that instance. Okay, that was just, I wanted to throw like something that was like super the other end of the spectrum, right out there, of like how down that rabbit hole we get. It would be a different story if they had that skill set. Here is my second frustration. You need multiple streams of income.
Oh, that's a good one, Michael.
It upsets me. It upsets me so much. And look, people talk about, and they talk about in contexts that are different contexts that potentially are good for your business, but the way that multiple streams of income is used as a general broad spectrum is not good. And it's encouraging people to split their focus. And why I don't like it is because if you go and try and run out multiple different things at the same time, you are taking all the resources you have and you're splitting them up. And if we took all those resources and factored them into one area, you would get so much more out of that one area than us going and running at 7 things at the same time.
I'm going like this because just experience. I've been there as well. I've done all the wrong moves.
And look, if someone out there is like the most incredible super wizard in the world and they have made this work successfully at a level that is less than an 8-figure business that is running at that, and their take home is massive, I would love to hear about it and have you prove me wrong.
Oh, I know you're probably going to get into how it does work, how you can focus on one and then split, right? So I'm going to leave you do that because there are ways, but it's not where you do it first, right? You do something first and then bring in.
So that is a whole, like, we can talk about that. Like, that is a whole nother thing. What I would say is the reason I am against it, very, very much against it, is because of split focus. And focus is massive. And the problem with split focus is if you have to spend time here and then here and then here and then here, we don't build the most important thing that your business will ever have, and that is momentum.
Totally.
And momentum is everything. And if we don't have momentum and we don't back that up and have compounding in there as well, we just can't get that plane along the runway with enough speed so it gets up in the air and then have enough traction to get through all this, to get to where we're up the top here, and then we're using less fuel and focus and everything to keep the plane afloat.
Yep. So much to say.
So, yeah. And that is my lead up into, I want to talk about one person, one problem, one solution.
All right. So for the people out there who are nervous about niching down so who are nervous about discounting a lot of the market and focusing, let's go. Let's talk about why it's a good idea, how it happens, what can happen from it.
Okay. How discounting the market are we talking? Like, give me an example, and then I'm going to break that example or break the belief around that example.
I can look at some of my clients, but they've actually, most of them are doing it very well. There's a couple on my mind that I can think of now, myself included, in the early days, where you listen to the market and they say you need a lead magnet, you need a cheaper product, you need the core, and then you need the other one. You know, so you've got this gorgeous ecosystem of products. Where do you focus your energy first? How do you niche down so that you can start to build a solution that works in the market rather than
none of that shit works if you don't know who you're talking to.
Okay, great. How do we find out who we're talking to?
Okay, how do we find out who we're talking to? Okay, that's a good question. So, as a general rule, well, not a general rule, an easy rule is if you can talk to yourself 5 years ago, that is not the only way to do it, but that is a very easy way to do it because you already know all the problems that person has faced. You've already come up with a solution in theory, because if you're further along than where you were 5 years ago, you've been through some stuff and you have a solution for it. That is one way to do it. The other way is if you have a certain skill set that you have learned that is going to enable those people to get further. So, for example, like marketers, right? They don't have to have been a chiropractor to market a chiropractic clinic because they have the skill set to do the marketing. So, to find that person generally tends to be, do you have the skill, do you have a skill set that they need is what you want to identify. Are they someone that you're interested in working with? You don't have to love them as a client. You don't have to, but you have to have some form of interest. Because if you like rock up and you're like, I can't stand working with these people, like you're just not going to do what you need to do. So that person, like, how do I break this down? Like I would go, well, let's talk about for me, right? That's probably the easy way to do it. So how did I decide the people that I wanted to work with? Well, the things that I am very interested in and the things that I am quite good with is working in the B2B space. We're working with service businesses to sell B2B. Right? And I've got experience doing that and I know what to do and I can talk to business owners and I know how business works and I'm quite interested in it. Obviously now I'm very passionate about it because I've got results for people and the more that I'm doing, the more excited I get and I'm reinforced in that. So I look at people within service-based businesses. So I haven't super niched down, right? Yep. But I have gone, okay, in that service area, I work with people in marketing, people in the financial industries, people in the IT, and people that do consulting. Those are the primary people that I work with because those are the things that I know quite well.
Yeah. So how did you come to know that you know those quite well? Was it just through your previous experience in business that you're like, okay, now I can transfer these skills? Or did you just sort of start to talk to people and work with a couple of people here and there to figure it out?
Yeah, part of it also too was you don't always know at the start, and I didn't know at the start. So I actually went and found some people and helped them build their business. And I was like, what am I interested in? What was cool? I didn't have a lot of experience in marketing, and I was like, I wouldn't say that I am the most experienced marketer in the world, but it was something that I need to learn because my background is really operations and people.
Yeah.
So part of that was I was in the process of learning all the things and everything. So I wanted to work with those kinds of businesses. And then now marketing businesses actually make up the majority of my client base.
Yeah, so you didn't go out.
I want to say there's an easy way to figure it out. Yeah, I want to say there's an easy way to figure it out. What I would suggest people do, which I have found is the best way to do it, is go, okay, what skill set do I have? Who do I believe needs it? And do I believe they can pay me? And then we've got to work things out. So we're building a thesis, right? And that person is, okay, I'm like looking at a marketing business that has 2 to 20 employees, and right now they're not getting they're getting leads in, but they can't close the sales because they've got good marketing experience, so they can bring in leads, but they don't have the sales experience, so they can't close a business, which has led them to undercharge for their services. So I can help them fix that problem. So that's the person that I am looking for.
Okay, and you've known that through trial. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
But you can make a thesis. That's the thing, is you can make a thesis and go, like, there's a lot of different things we can do. We can go and do market research. We can go and do polls. The quickest way that I found, in spite of all of that, is to go locally to find 2 to 5 businesses like that and offer to work with them at either in exchange for referrals and a video testimonial, or for reduced rates, to go really understand what their problems are.
Yeah.
So the reason why one person, or one, let's say, archetype, in the case of, like, I work with service-based businesses in these areas, so they all have the similar problems. And why I like working across the industries is because I then get to cross-pollinate the different things that are working into a different industry that other people in that industry aren't doing, from the learnings that I have. So one person is about having one type of either person, if it's an ideal client, or like archetype of like service-based businesses within these industries that have problems that you can clearly outline. And the one person, the reason everyone talks to you about having one person is we need to be able to speak to them in language that they understand, in the places that they are hanging out. So we're not trying to pull them to us. That's after we've gone to them. And we need them to self-identify that we are the person for them. And we can't do that if we're talking to everyone.
Yep, very much so. I'm just thinking about when you and I first met, or probably a little bit before that, about a year before you and I first met, I had niched down into working with coaches only, and probably even niched a little bit further into business coaches. And I did a lot of research in the business coaching space. I interviewed a lot of business coaches to find out what their pain points were, what their life was like, getting an understanding.
Can I guess what the problem was?
Yes.
Yeah, none of them have any money to pay you.
Well, pretty much. And it's funny. It's not until, so there's 3 questions you got to ask yourself, right? Who can you move the needle for the most? Who do you like working with the most? And who can afford you? And I hadn't asked those when I'd first started. I didn't know those questions. I learned those questions later. But I still, in my research, thought there was enough out there that I could find, at least, again, I was going for lower ticket offers as well. So I thought, there's enough here that will support me, or, be able to support me. And I knew I could help coaches, right? But what happened was, they just weren't the right market. They didn't want what I had. I couldn't find a proper fit with them at that stage. It just didn't work. So I had to, as you know, unniche, which was so weird. People used to say to me, who's your niche? And I went, I'm the only marketing company I know that doesn't have one at the moment, right? I just need to come back out to find out who's there. And I literally said, this is what I've got.
Yeah.
Who wants it? And then that's where I was able to sort of open the niche out to, like you, professional services. And it's funny, I talk a lot with e-commerce people lately. They're sort of coming into my world, and I'm like, it's a hard no. We don't do e-commerce. We don't do that space, right? We have people that do. And it's so good to say no, because in the past I would have gone, sure, I could stretch my company to serve you. Now I literally just say no, and it feels great because we're doing it over here. So it's such no's a superpower.
That's a really valid point as well, is that having that one person allows you to identify who you are working with.
Yeah.
And being able to say no, like when you're first starting out and you need money, like, you say yes to a lot more than you probably should because you need money. What I'd encourage you to do is, if you have this mapped out and you understand that you are saying yes for money for now, with the long term of we are working with this, that is a different conversation than if we're just grabbing everything.
Yeah.
Because at least you're being intentional with it, and you're making decisions based off of, okay, yes, I need to take on this job now to get me to here, as opposed to I just work with everyone. It's 2 very different things.
All right, so we're going to look at our skill base, a hole in the market that we think that we can fill. So that's narrow our focus a little bit. Yep.
So one problem is like, once we go one person, we go one problem. And why we talk one problem is because there are, like, most people have a shitload of problems. That's right. Like there's a reality in that. But one problem means that we can talk about everything to do with that problem, and it's not necessarily about what we can do for people. There's a myriad of things that we can do for people. It's more about what we can do consistently over a long period of time for more people. And again, it's helping that person identify that we are right fit for them. So it's about bringing clients in, and it's about being able to deliver for clients once we've closed it. What happens is when we go, oh yeah, we as a marketing agency, oh yeah, okay, so not only do we do social media marketing and email marketing, and we do SEO and build websites and like all that stuff, like it's a lot, but it kind of like fits together. But by the way, we can also do promotional material that we make the team stop what they're doing and like print shirts and stuff in the background, kind of thing, right? Like we're making it stretch really far. Then if we go, the one thing that we solve for people is we get them 8 clients in 90 days.
Yeah. That sounds like a great idea.
And the problem is they don't have clients. So the problem we solve is you don't have clients. We get you 8 clients in 90 days. That is what we're solving.
Yep.
And then after the 90 days, what we do is we're continuing to work the system to ensure that you have client acquisition going forward.
Yep. And a few other things.
That's as simple as it gets.
Yes.
Like and look,
instead of at 90 days, it's spread out.
Like it's as simple as it gets. Like that is a problem. The problem we are solving is client acquisition. It's not we're building out your social media so that you can get likes and clicks and feel good about yourself. We're solving client acquisition for you. We're very specific about it.
That's where you go from the one avatar, the one person. Their problem is I've got no clients. Our solution is we're going to bring them in, and we're going to do it this time.
So what ideally you want to solve the biggest problem that they have that you can solve.
Yeah.
Because that is and understanding what their biggest challenge is, it can be challenging sometimes because we often think we know what they need. And it's not even on their radar. And I'll use a website as an example. So if we go in and we go, the problem that we are solving is we build you out a website and run your SEO, they don't care. Let's say we're talking to a tradie. They couldn't give a shit about their website or SEO. Do you know what they care about? Whether their phone is ringing and they're booking in jobs.
Yeah.
So the problem we are solving is currently your phone is not ringing and you do not have enough jobs to support the team that you have. We make sure your phone keeps ringing and you book in jobs.
Yeah. And then you go make sure that happens.
Yeah.
It's the tools you've got. It's great, isn't it? So all of a sudden you're hyper-focused on a result and the rest of the market doesn't even matter. You don't even think about them.
No, because most people are still just trying to build a website and do SEO.
Yeah. But from experience, it completely hones your thinking into, and let's lean into this if we can, into how to become really, really good at providing that solution. Like that's when the game changes, when you're focused, you know your market, you know their problem, you've got the solution, and you just get better and better and better at it because you're focusing on getting better at that. And then as I've said in the past, the better you get at it, that's your USP. That's the thing that's going to make you stand out, is you're just so good at delivering on this thing because you're doing it every day and no one else is. And you just hyper-focus.
It just becomes in the market that you become the only person that is right fit for them to do it. So you just have a market dominating position. I am the only person for trades that ensures that within this local area, their phone is constantly ringing and their job is booked out and they have a backlog. For plumbers, I am the guy to go to if you want to ensure that you constantly are booked out with jobs. Such
a great conversation. Like clarity is what most business owners are looking for. And when you start getting it,
it's clarity. It's the clarity of what in this instance is like, who is that person? What is the problem? What is the solution, for example? But it's like the clarity of right now, there's a million things I could do to grow my business. I can only do like this much, but I don't know what to do. Once we have the clarity on that, it's then the focus on, okay, these are the things I've got to do. How do I do them? When do I do them? And then we layer in the accountability to actually make sure that that happens. I built my business on that.
I built my business on that because you told me how to do it. Yeah. Like when you and I first started working together, you said, what are you doing now, right? Because I had all of this stuff, right? I was sitting on a pile of stuff that I'd made, like courses, offers, done for you, done with you, DIYs, freebies.
How many problems were you trying to solve?
Oh, I don't even know. All right. I don't even know.
All the problems, right?
Yeah. Like
any problem that came along.
Everything. And you said to me, what have you been doing for 4 years? And I went, social media marketing, 3 posts a week. Why don't you do more of that? Oh, I don't know. Why would I? Why would I do the thing I've been doing for 4 years and focus in on that? It's like, and sometimes it's just there. You're sitting on it. It's a blind spot because you've just been doing it. And again, with business, so many times you hear it, going back to basics, right?
Yeah. So right now we've we've talked about one person. So we want to clearly identify who that one person is, so that, and like when I say one person, it can be a business type, it can be an archetype of a group of people, but don't go everyone. It needs to be people that you can clearly articulate to them in their language where they are, what the problem is that they're experiencing, and then the solution that you have for them, so that we can talk about the outcome that they're going to get. So, well, let's add the other one in on the back end. Anyway, so we got that one person, right? Now, the great thing about having that one person is that you solve, ideally, the biggest problem that they have. So let's talk the plumber. The biggest problem that they have is they don't have enough jobs, which means they don't have enough cash flow, which means they can't pay their bills. And they're freaking out because it's quiet. Well, you get that phone ringing so that they have a booked out job list and they now have cash flow coming through. They can pay the bills, they can pay the team, and like they can then take that money and put their kids through school, or they can pay their mortgage, or whatever it is that they do, like whatever is their thing, which is amazing. Now, what you also do with the one problem, which is, this is where the marketing element comes in, is by having only one problem you talk about, when we market that to this person, and we are the ones that introduce them to, hey, right now your phone isn't ringing and you don't have a booked out job list, because the best way for you to attract clients is having a easy to use website that states exactly what you do and is easy for them to book on, and then us driving traffic to it in your local area, so that when someone just goes plumber, Coburn, you just come up straight up as number one and you get booked in. You suddenly become the expert in their eyes because you have just clearly defined and introduced them to the problem and the solution for it. So we're going, here's what you're experiencing right now. This is how it feels. Here is how we overcome that. And they've gone, oh, wow, this guy knows how I'm feeling. This guy knows what my problem is. And, he's showing me the thing. And we're just taking them along the buyer's journey. But we can't do that if we don't have the one person, we don't have the one problem. And then we need the solution, which in this instance, I'm just going to keep rolling with this, is the solution is we build out or rejig your website to be a high converting website, and we drive traffic to it. One solution. That if, like, there are different layers to it, right? So we can layer in. So if we have one solution, you can go I wish I had a whiteboard. We don't have a whiteboard. Let's go one solution, and we can go down and we can go up. So the down could be, okay, if right now you're not in the position to redo your website, the short thing that we can do is we can set up your Google My Business profile a lot better, have it more accurate, have a few things that you can do that's going to help pump it up from an SEO point of view, and set you up with a little app that makes it very easy for you to get client reviews on that. So that when you show up, you have a lot of client reviews, which will help bump you up in the rankings. That could be so we have the core of what we want to do is we want to rebuild their website and get them on like some basic SEO, let's say, to drive traffic. That is the solution. However, they might not be ready for that solution. So we can put them down into an entry level that is going to help them get them ready for this. Then on the flip side, we can go up and we can go, okay, well, what we can do is we can fully build out your website. We can build out some lead magnets for you to attract new things in different areas. We can run SEO for you. We can run Google ads. We can have your Google profile set up. We can have the app done. We can have the ultimate package.
Yep.
Now, all of those things are actually not different solutions.
Yeah,
we are just solving the one problem with the same solution, just we're solving it at different levels.
Yeah. Yeah, it's incredible.
And that's
simple, isn't it?
And it does a couple of things. The first one is it makes it very easy for your client to understand. And when they come to you, you can actually prescribe them what is the best option out of those three based off of you going through like a doctor and doing analysis on their business needs and what their challenge is.
Yeah.
That makes it a lot easier for you to sell or just go and help people. And what it then does is it makes it very easy for you to deliver the outcome that they're going to get. And the outcome that they're going to get is as a result of getting more clients and being booked in and being able to build out their business, they are then going to have a business that they can create a life that gives them freedom to do what they want with who they want, when they want to do it, and put their kids through school and have barbecues on the weekend and buy a bigger house and all that good jazz.
And still have a really cool website.
Yeah. That's. I have a really cool website now. Thanks, Jeremy. Wherever you are, Jeremy. Thank you.
You do. Talking websites. So, yep.
So, just to bring it right back, and like I harp on about this all the time. So, thank you for listening, everyone that's listening to me right now, because I will talk about it all day, every day. With your best interests at heart is one person, one problem, one solution, and then talk about the one outcome that they are going to get from you doing that.
It's incredibly powerful when you do it. Incredibly powerful. Like, my business has changed because of it completely. You're able to understand the market better and better every day you do it. Every day you get better at understanding your client and what they need. Just how to better serve them with that solution. It's unbelievably powerful.
If you're trying to do like 100 different things, or even like 5 different things for 5 different people, and you're doing less than $1 million a year, that's why you're not hitting 7 figures.
Yeah. It's funny.
And then,
go.
I was about to say, then if you're trying to do, you've got over 7 figures and you're trying to do 5 different things and do all the stuff, well, the reason why you're not hitting 8 figures is because you're trying to do that.
You can hear, I don't know whether it was Cody Sanchez or one of the entrepreneurs talking about the way they view entrepreneurs, or they view people that are of wealth, and they talk about going wide or going deep. So you're either going to go wide with all of your energy, or just go deep and choose one and stay there. So it's just super interesting. All right.
Most people that I come across that go, but I've like, everyone that could buy from me in this space has bought from me. I'm like, oh, really? Okay, cool. Go show me how many people are on your CRM.
Yeah.
Okay, how many people are available? Like, how many people are in this industry? How many? And like, it's not even close. I've never seen someone that's even close. And I have a client that we were looking at their like what they achieve, because in Australia, if anyone's watching outside of Australia, but in Australia, it's we've just had end of financial year, new financial year. We're talking figures for the next 12 months. And there is a very, very real possibility. In fact, I would be highly surprised if they don't hit 8 figures this financial year.
Yeah.
And we're not out there trying to do a whole heap of different things. We're just going and doing what they're good at. We've got that one type of person, we've got that one problem, and we've got the one solution.
I was going to say something then, and it just went from my mind. No, it's gone. That was it. When you first start off in business and you want to be everything to everyone, and you think about if you do niche down that you'll actually cut out half of the market, right? And you feel like you're going to limit yourself. It's like bizarre to think of now, but I just remember it's like, no, I can't come down because there's all these people out there and they'll need me and I'll miss out on money, right? Or whatever. And now when you do start to niche in and serve that particular space, there's so many that it's actually hard to keep up with when you do get into that space.
What I was about to say is, let's say I was a web design person that only dealt with plumbers. I'm just rolling with that because that was the thing.
It's a good one, right? Plumbers out there, we've got you.
If someone, like if I was questioning, am I really going to get enough work with just plumbers? Go and Google how many plumbers there are, and then go and work out what capacity you really have as a business to deliver on those people. And I think that you'll find that this is how much capacity you have, and this is how many plumbers there are.
It's unbelievable when you actually start delivering and realize what you can do in a day. And you thought, I could serve everyone. Like, no, you can't. You just can't. It's impossible.
Not at all.
So
and
then,
you think about it. So let's say we had just web design SEO business, right? They build a website for someone. Let's say they're charging 20 grand for the website. They kindly don't charge someone for the website if they sign up for 12 months of SEO. And that SEO is $2.5 grand. So a month. So it's 30K a year client. Like, if you look at that, like how many of those 30K clients can you really do?
Yep.
Like it's
once
just,
you're on the SEO, right? Like, it's great. It's great. It's a great situation. You could probably do a few.
To get to $1 million, you need to have 34 of those running on monthly reoccurring to hit $1 million in 12 months.
Yep. So then when you think about everyone, would there be 30 plumbers out there you could find? For sure.
I think I've lost Katrina there. Or maybe you lost me.
I don't know. I can hear you still. Tech.
I'm just I'll keep talking until we're good to go. Anyway. Yeah, I don't know if it's at my end or at your end.
You've got all pixelated. I don't know if you can hear me or not. Anyway.
Yeah, it's potentially that is a good time for us, unless you have any questions to answer.
Yeah, I think so. Maybe a good time for us.
The tech is going all funny.
All right, let's do that then.
So here's something that I just want to put out there is, like, if someone has like concerns about that, or like wants to talk about it more, or has questions, or wants to challenge some of the stuff I'm saying, put it in the comments, and like, we can either reply to it there, or we can pump out some videos, or whatever we need to do, because I'm very interested to hear other people's feedback, because this is just from what I'm experienced from working across, the better part of 50 clients right now of what we're doing. And we've got businesses that are doing over $1 million a year. We've got some that are pushing towards 8. I've got businesses that we're bringing and we've brought from, early to mid 6 figures that are now doing over 7 figures. And all this I'm talking about, this is all we're rolling out, and this is what we're doing, and it has worked every single time. So I'd love to hear the feedback if someone's got a different way to do it.
Yep. So would I, because I've done both as well. and I tell you, this works. It works. Works for all the big entrepreneurs as well. You hear them say it. So
All right. Let's say on that note, one avatar, one target, one problem, one solution. Seems to be the way to go. Stay focused, team. Until next week, maybe we'll catch up with you then. Sound all right, Michael? Thank you very much.
Yeah, I'll be here.
You'll be here.
Yeah.
We've actually got some exciting things happening next week. Maybe we can talk about that.
Oh, we do.
We do.
We do.
You gonna do a plug?
Do you want to? Yeah, I mean, we
Go
can do
for
a
it.
plug, but
Guess
okay.
where I'm
So
going this week.
yeah. So the next weekend, Saturday, the Venture Cultivation Coaching Collective kicks off at Crown Towers in Perth, out of the Crystal Villa Suites, which is the second best room you can hire in Crown in Perth, and it's actually probably one of the most exclusive places that you can get in Australia right now. So very exciting. What we're in there doing is we're helping people grow their businesses. The nitty gritty of it is where every month, sorry, it runs over 6 months. There's an event once a month, and we're going to have a keynote speaker every month. It's all about helping the business owners that are in there expand their minds and help them grow the businesses in different ways for that keynote. The first one that kicks it off is actually someone we know. So Sally Dillon can have a little plug here. So she's going to be talking leadership and building out your team. And then we have sessions where business owners like Katrina are bringing a problem to the table that they want the collective to work on, to mastermind for their business specifically, so that they can walk out there with, if not the solution, potential solutions that they can work for their business to overcome that challenge or for the next steps of where they want to go.
Ooh,
so that's what we'll be doing. I'm actually shutting off I've got 3 tickets left for July. Friday, tomorrow is the cutoff. And then we may reopen the doors, because I do have 3 spots, so we may open the doors for the rest of it, but I haven't decided that yet. We might decide on the sad day when we get in there, it's good feel, and we don't want anyone else to come join us, and everyone else can have to wait for the next one. We'll see how we go with that.
I can't wait. I'm heading over to Perth from Sydney to check it out, or from Coffs Harbour, sunny Coffs Harbour. So I'm going to get over there for a couple of days, come up to Crown Towers, hang out with some cool people and solve business problems for a little while. So I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be awesome. So if anybody wants to come, get 3 tickets left. It's going to blow up your business. Six sessions, ultimately 6 months of 6 masterminds each month, hanging around some other entrepreneurs that are doing some amazing things with Michael at the helm. An incredible opportunity. If you're not into it, let us know. You'll have a ball. You want to take that business to the next level? Ooh, let's go.
Yeah. Well, don't worry. If you're not there, we'll send plenty of photos and videos so you can see what you're missing out on.
All right. Well, I'm looking forward to catching up with you then, but we will see you on Thursday beforehand. Everybody else out there, if you want to talk about one target, one problem, one solution, drop it in the comments. If you want to talk about growing your business exponentially and want to jump on Crown Towers, let us know. We'll see you there. Thanks, everybody. Have a great week. Thanks, Michael.
See you there.